Hello everybody, hope that you're doing very well and welcome to this live stream that I have for you. Currently 2 o'clock in the middle of the day over here in England. Hope you're doing well, enjoying your, what are we even on? Saturday. We're on Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Hope you're looking forward to your nice weekend. A little bit of a relaxing time. It feels really relaxed. No, I feel like Bitcoin it's been grinding up, but I feel that there's no need to be like emotional, really excited at the moment. It's like, you know, to be honest, it's a really relaxing environment, in my opinion. Like what I'll be going through tonight, what I'll be going through today. I'm just so used to doing the live streams in the evening. What I'll be going through today is I want to keep it professional. I want to keep it sensible in terms of the analysis. And I also want to offer you some education and some assistance, I suppose, in how we are going to be looking to manage this trade. So I hope that you really do enjoy today's live stream. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it focused. Probably we'll take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I think I will mention the altcoins because I think, yeah, I'll mention the altcoins as well. Yeah, I will do that. So yeah, we'll focus on Bitcoin to start. We'll then move on to Ethereum, then we'll look at some of the altcoins, and I'm going to give you a perspective on the chart, which is truly based, blocking out all news. It's based truly on the technicals, with, you know, a sensible thesis behind it. So I'll give you a thesis of what I expect to happen based off of the data that I'm given. So it's not me trying to make a prediction off of what I feel. It's me making a prediction off of what the chart is giving me. And that's obviously that is literally the best way to trade. You know, you got lots of different things, different stories that you might read in the news. But my honest opinion is show me the charts and I will tell you the news. So we're going to go into the charts today and say, okay, what is, you know, what's happening here? Are we likely to break $43,000 and see a really big increase in price? Or are we more likely, again, we're trading probabilities, are we more likely to see a drop here? Are we actually more likely to reject one more time at the highs to come down, you know, first of all? So I guess the main thing that I want to answer in this video, that we'll start off with the question of, is Bitcoin about to pump to, you know, you have to remember the title of this video is obviously just clickbait. To be honest with you, I think in a lot of the videos that I do now, I just put on an absolute random title. The title is absolutely random. But I suppose we'll be answering the question nevertheless. Is Bitcoin going to $70,000? Or are we more likely to actually see a rejection here and head down? I'll give you my analysis based off of the chart. Not what I want, not what I think, but what the chart is telling me. So if you're looking forward to that, stay for the live stream, I suppose. And if you don't want to, not looking forward to that, you can leave the live stream. But yeah, we have, wow, I'm surprised we have 1,500 people in here for a 2 p.m. live stream. That is pretty impressive. What I will say, as always, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're looking forward to the live stream, it's really appreciated if you can give a like to the video. You know, I don't like to be the guy that is always saying, please give the likes, but the thing is, YouTube, it's like an inverse correlation. We'll talk about inverse correlations between Ethereum and Bitcoin, but there's an inverse correlation, because if you make content on YouTube, but it doesn't receive likes and it doesn't receive shares, then YouTube is going to not promote the video, and it's going to actually hinder the channel. So I don't like to ask, you know, I don't continuously like to say, like, please give likes and stuff, because I just don't really like doing that. But it's kind of just, you know, just the way YouTube works. So I don't really, you know, I don't like doing these clickbait titles, but it's just, unfortunately, it's just the way it's just the way YouTube works. So I suppose, don't hate the player, hate the game. And I'm not going to continuously beg for likes. So I'm just going to say, if you're looking forward and you feel I'm helping you in today's live stream, you can just give a like to the video. That's the one and only time I'm going to ask. So yeah, if you enjoy what we're doing today, it's absolutely free. Give a like to the video, share it out. And you know, that personally helps me with the channel. So that's really appreciated. And with that said, then let's go into the charts. So I feel actually we're at a really decisive moment in the chart. Well, I am telling you, there is one level left on this chart, which I see resistance. So it's kind of why I'm saying, like, we have one level left on the chart right now of Bitcoin. And I truly believe that if we can claim this, I am expecting all-time highs. Okay, so for me, it's fairly simple in that regards. Well, let's go over what we got here then. So we firstly have this high-term time frame levels, and we obviously have known about these levels for quite a while. We have our lower weekly, we have our higher weekly, and now we have our last daily level, which sits above us at $40,614. Okay, so 40,614. This for me is literally the last daily on the whole of the Bitcoin chart, where if we are unable to claim this level, this is the way that I view trading. Okay, so I've been trading a long time, and I feel as if I'm pretty good at it. And the way that I love to approach the charts is really in this non-emotional way. So I'm not driven by, I'm not feeling the fear, and I'm not feeling any FOMO at the moment. It's like, you just got to, honestly, the biggest downfall of traders is that they get overly emotional on the charts. So when price is going up like it is now, I feel the average person is really feeling the FOMO. Their thoughts at the moment are, oh my God, I'm going to miss the move. I need to buy and buy and buy as much Bitcoin as possible because I'm going to miss out. And they have such a feeling of missing out that it is really not the mindset to be in. Like, if you actually want to make money trading, you have to remove yourself out of this emotion of thinking, I'm going to miss something. My biggest help for people is you don't actually miss any, let's just say hypothetically that Bitcoin goes to $70,000, you're not missing anything because you don't lose any money by not having more Bitcoin. So you're not losing anything. It's just your mindset is under the thought process of, I've missed a really good opportunity. But when you acknowledge there is going to be that exact same opportunity 1 week later, you can see how you can start to remove yourself from this emotion of, I'm going to miss the biggest move of my life, because the biggest move of your life is always ahead of you. So you might be kicking yourself thinking, oh my, I've missed out on this move from 30,000 to 40,000. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Whatever you're thinking, and now you're thinking, I need to buy here because I didn't buy down here. Whatever you're thinking now, you just got to think to yourself, the biggest move of your life, or let's put it like this, the best trade of your life, the best trade you're ever going to take is still ahead of you. And the biggest move on Bitcoin is still ahead of you. So it does, that I feel really helps myself personally. And when I am teaching people, this is something that I like to, tell my students that, you need to remove this fear of missing, literally the fear, the absolute fear. And people will feel sick to their stomachs. They will lose sleep over it. They will have sleepless nights and literally feel sick upon missing a move on Bitcoin. And that is the worst mindset to be in, because if you are under this perspective, you are unable to make money. Really simply, you're never going to be able to be making money. Okay. So yeah, that's something that I just really wanted to emphasize. Please don't feel this like fear, because, even if you miss this move, there's going to be another one. Let's say we go to $70,000, and then you'll be thinking to yourself, well, now that then the best opportunity is maybe from $70,000 to $140,000, or maybe that best trade is from $70,000 trading all the way back down to $40,000. So, the massive move that everybody's talking about, there's always another one. I've been trading for so long now, I can honestly tell you, please don't feel FOMO, because there's always going to be that massive move. There's always another opportunity. The markets are endless. Every single day you're given an opportunity, whether that is Bitcoin, whether that is Ethereum, whether that's Tesla, whether that's the cable, there's always an opportunity. And when you remove yourself from this perspective of, I cannot miss, I'm so scared of missing the move, sleepless nights, checking the phone at 1 a.m. thinking, has it pumped? Oh my God. The quicker you can remove yourself from that mentality, the quicker you can actually start to make money in trading, because that's going to be it's going to be a really big drawback on yourself. So I just thought I'd start with that to try and give a bit of a perspective of why one shouldn't feel FOMO, even though, yes, I acknowledge this looks like a really bullish chart. I still don't think it's going to be beneficial to you nor me if you're in here feeling lots of FOMO. Uh, okay, so let's just get that out of the way. So right, now in terms of the charts, what do we have here? Well, in my opinion, we actually have... I am under the perspective that right now, and one thing that I want to acknowledge here is that my perspective on the chart can change like that. So I am not saying I'm bullish today, and that's not to say I cannot be bearish tomorrow, because I will literally trade what the chart is giving me. And as it stands right now, I am under the perspective that this is a bullish chart. Thus, I'm expecting higher. But I am open to changing my decision and my thought process if I see a change in this chart which is telling me that I need to change my bias. So my bias at the moment is bullish. I'm expecting higher. But as soon as I get a trigger that tells me that I'm incorrect in looking for higher, I have to trade the charts and I have to switch and say it's acceptable to short. So right now, as it stands, I'm not in a short. Okay, even though we're at resistance, I haven't got actually a trigger yet that has told me, right, short. Okay. But maybe potentially the stream ends, we're finished, and there's a downtick and we get a trigger. You know, that's just something to bear in mind. We're not going to be saying, oh, just because we said this in a video, we have to stick for it forever. We can't change our minds. Obviously, we're going to trade the charts. We're going to react, and we're not holding any biases. We're open to change perspective and change the way we trade. But as it stands right now, yeah, I am expecting higher. And I'll give you a few reasons here of why I think we're going to push higher. And primarily, actually, it's based off of a higher term time frame. So this is a key thing here. A higher term time frame Elliott wave count, as well as the daily level that is untapped here. Why I believe that we can get another push to the upside. So I'd like to show you this Elliott wave count here. This, if you are interested, was in a... I can't actually play this because we got a lot of copyrighted music on it. But nevertheless, this was a live stream that I done on the 3rd of February. So literally just 3 days ago. Labeled Bitcoin Rise to Come, where I was looking at this Elliott wave count, where it's a higher term time frame count, where I basically saw a 335, and I'm then looking for a 535 to give us that X wave to around basically $41,000. And you can see here, this X wave would see us coming up to 40,000 before dropping to 27,000. And you might be under the perspective, that's impossible. You know, Bitcoin's never going to 20,000, you know, $27,000. That's never going to happen. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it does. The thing that you can never say in trading is never, because never doesn't exist in trading. Anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. So if you are going to come in here and say, Daniel, why are you talking about Bitcoin going to 27,000? Because that's impossible. Well, the answer is nothing's impossible in trading. And if you're not prepared for seeing potentially $27,000, what happens when it starts to retrace? And the scenario that you said is never going to happen, happens. But you're going to lose a lot of money. That's the simple answer. You're going to lose a lot of money. So I think we've got to be prepared. We are now making our way up for this X wave. So let's load up this count. This is an unedited count. From here, you can see, looking at that 8th, we drag this down. We can see that was coming in at around the 8th, more or less. And we're, you know, so we were expecting this a little bit longer, but we're, you know, a little bit ahead of time, I suppose. It's pretty impulsive. But if we're looking at this as a W, as a zigzag, really simply, this is what we got in Elliott waves. We had here, let's keep the Elliott waves on, let's hide this. What we had here, in my perspective, is a 3, and then a 5 wave move to the downside, ending in a truncation here. And then what we've actually seen is a impulse, retracement, and we're looking for that next impulse. How do you get your target for an X wave? I'll ask this to the community. So obviously at Chart Champions, we focus on the education. So I'm here to not just be, you know, anyone can do predictions. I can sit here and say 70,000. I can sit here and say 10,000, and anyone can do a YouTube video to give predictions. What I like to pride myself on is helping people, teaching them, and you know, hopefully pushing them to the next level in, you know, hopefully changing their lives, literally. So I'll ask this to the community to see here how many people are knowledgeable to know this at the moment. What is the target of a 535 Elliott wave count using the Fibonacci extension? Let's see how many people know the answer. We're going to use an Elliott wave perspective, and we're going to look for the target of an X wave based off of a zigzag 535 count. What Fibonacci extension are we looking for? Okay, I'm interested to know how many people here have the knowledge of this, and then obviously I'll give you all the answer, but let's see how many people know. So, yes, we do have some knowledgeable people. That's brilliant. We got 1-to-1, absolutely 1-to-1. Younes, of course, 1-to-1. All the information you provide is extremely valuable and appreciated. That's really kind of you, and I appreciate you saying that, mate. Yeah, really, a lot of people are very on the ball where they know this because they're all saying 1-to-1. That's obviously the exact answer that we were wanting, because that is the correct answer. Okay, so we're looking for the 1-to-1 extension. So really simply, how do we get our 1-to-1 extensions then? Well, really simply, what we need to do here is we come across to our Fibonacci trend-based extension. Okay, we'll click on that, and then we will take it from the low of our zigzag to the high of wave A, down to the low of wave B, and you can see here we have a 1-to-1 extension. Again, for the people that are unaware what this really means, it basically is very, very, very simple. The length of this impulse from the low of the retrace, that gives you your 1-to-1. As you can see, $41,736. So that means that that's a target. You will know that if you follow Chart Champions over our streams, we were literally longing 29,600. Obviously, I'm no longer in this long position, by the way, but we were nevertheless longing literally the absolute low of the sea here. In the end, that was closed out at $38,000. So again, I guess I can expand upon this. So you might say to yourself, excuse me, obviously we and many other people inside the Champions group longed 29,600. We closed, well, I did anyway, closed all of the long position at 38,200, which was a weekly. Okay, which was this weekly right here. And you might say to yourself, Daniel, do you not feel annoyed about longing here, closing here, and you could have had more profits if you had not closed your trade? Because this is another thing that people struggle with. Daniel, are you not annoyed by closing too early? Even, you know, remembering that this was a gain of 30% in a few days, but nevertheless, people are going to be, Daniel, why are you annoyed from taking profits too early? And my honest reply is absolutely not, because I'm not in this. I'm not under the perspective of saying, you know, again, people are scared. People fall under the category as well of scared to take profits, because they're thinking, what about if I take profits and it goes up higher? You know, people dread it. People really dread that feeling of, oh my God, I took profits and the move, and you know, it's gone up higher. I'm such an idiot. Why did I close out the trade? Blah, 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 blah. You know, a whole list of reasons how you can be annoyed about this. My perspective is absolutely not. I'm absolutely, can honestly say, I am honestly not annoyed in the slightest that I closed out that long too early. Okay. So that's the first thing to bear in mind. But nevertheless, you know, why am I not annoyed? Well, because I know that there's another opportunity tomorrow. I know there's another opportunity next week. There's another opportunity next month. I'm never going to be annoyed by taking profits too early. Anyway, so yeah, obviously we were longing point W down here, which was our low of the sea. And we now have our higher term, you know, if you're still in that long, or if you've been long in anywhere else, I suppose it's still the same. But nevertheless, that's obviously coming in at $41,736. So you can see now how this is giving us a bit of a box of a resistance, isn't it? We have our daily 40,614 to literally 41,736. Again, we don't really want to look at it as an exact dollar. We can obviously give this a little bit of leeway either side. The same as this daily, you can really give it a bit of leeway either side. But this is obviously our target box, I would argue. Does one take a short at the target box? Debatable. I would say I am personally okay with shorting it. Okay, but then I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to literally tell you, don't follow this video, because if you randomly follow these videos and you don't have the knowledge behind how we come to these conclusions, then you're just going to lose money. And although I want to help people, I do feel that a lot of people will lose money if they just randomly follow the trading with no knowledge. Because if you don't have the skill set required to know when the trade is invalidated, to know when it's turning around, you know, you're just going to lose, you're literally going to lose money. So, you know, this is the scenario that I could potentially close the trade early. I could win the trade, and then another person that follows the exact same trade loses. But nevertheless, what I'm saying here is that there's obviously a potential short setup. Does one take the short? I suppose you could wait potentially for a bit of confirmation. What we mean by confirmation is maybe some sort of move up into the target that gets a rejection and we start to head back down. Well, then you probably have a safe, you know, a safer short position because you've actually acknowledged that there has been a rejection. There's been a strong rejection. Yes, you now have an entry, you have a stop loss, and you have a target. Would I short this level? I mean, to be honest, yeah, I personally would be happy to short it. Does that mean I win the trade? No. Does that mean I could lose the trade? Yes. But it's a level where I'm like, in terms of a short, it's probably the last short I would literally take in the next few months on Bitcoin. In terms of, I have a really easy entry, I have a really easy invalidation. And if I get invalidated, I'd probably just go straight into a long. And the amount of money that I'd lose from getting stopped on the short, I could go straight into a long and make that times 5. It's like, when you view it in that regards, it is kind of like a nice short, isn't it? Again, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I would fall under the perspective of, I would be interested in this. I would be interested in a short that maybe is just down to around here, but that's still giving me a 3.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio, 10% gains for potential 3% loss. And it could extend, or I could see such as 22% gains. So when you start to think of, wow, you could start to get 22% gains, you could potentially get 35% gains if it comes down all the way. Obviously, then it's pretty pleasing, the short position here. Does that mean that it works? Obviously, it doesn't. Does that mean that we could enter a short and it goes straight past and hits target and heads up to $50,000? Of course. You know, of course that could happen. But what we're saying is, in terms of a high, in my opinion, well, I would want to see the rejection first. So I don't think it's a good trade if we just short squeeze straight through it. That's obviously not a good short. But if we come up to the level and we get something like this, which we could obviously see now, and we then start to get our rejections and we start to then break support, then that's where I think the trigger is for the short position. So am I interested in a short right now on Bitcoin? The answer is yes. I must admit I am interested in a short. To be totally honest with you, I very much am interested. Just as I am interested in longing down here, I'm very interested in shorting up here. Okay, and this was where for me I was bullish and longing. And now, when it comes up to here, I'm interested in shorting. Because really simply, it's like you get these really easy invalidations and it's like the risk to reward is so big. You know, it's not then an end of the world scenario if I take a short and I get stopped out. Like literally, I could not care less if I take a loss on the trade. You know, I'm just under the perspective of, you know, why would I be emotional? Why would I be upset if I take a short and it gets stopped out? You know, I could switch into a long instantly and imagine make the money back up straight away. But it's also the scenario of like, you know, why would I be annoyed by this? Like literally, why would I be annoyed by it? Wow, we have a donation of $50. That is really kind of you, mate. Simply because you have educated me even more and sharpened my skills while instilling confidence in my plan. Thank you. You are changing lives. That is really, really, really brilliant. And yeah, like when I read some of the I'm a pretty emotional guy, to be honest with you. Like I'm pretty emotional, but when I read some of these comments, like you have to truly understand, I just absolutely love the feeling of reading some of this stuff, and like that makes me really nice. And this, like, I read this comment today and like you don't understand the joy and happiness that it brings me, like reading these things. Like I'll read it out and then we'll get back to the charts because I just love these sort of things, you know. I just absolutely love it. Hey all, just wanted to say a massive thank you to the Chart Champions community. Let's make it so you can hopefully read this here. Just wanted to say a massive thank you to the Chart Champions community. Have been spot trading since 2013 and lurking on the Chart Champions YouTube channel for the best part of 2020. I decided to sign up for the Champions group in January off the back of someone very close to me getting in a really awful financial situation off the back of coronavirus and some really crappy personal circumstances I won't share. I set a challenge to myself to be able to trade up from an amount I could afford to lose to an amount that would eliminate their debt and hopefully go some way to helping them reset their lives in 2021. Today, I hit that goal ahead of schedule. Obviously, thanks goes to myself and some of the top members in the group, which we all love and respect, and many other people in this community. Just wanted to say that as much as it's wonderful we can make ourselves wealthier, it's the fact we have the ability to support others in times of need that really makes Chart Champions and the information you guys share life-changing. Pay it forward. Still learning and growing, so haven't posted much yet, but excited for the journey ahead. Obviously, made $40,000, and like, I just feel it's so powerful to read messages like this, to just know that we are changing lives. And I know it sounds really cliche and it sounds really, I truly just feel blessed, just truly happy, truly like, this is just unreal. I mean, look at this guy made 100 grand on Ethereum, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just so, it's really, 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 really special. And I find it hard to put into words exactly how it really makes me feel. But it means a lot to me. It really does. And I love those comments basically. So I appreciate that, mate. And I hope that you are enjoying. And here we go. This is why I was not shorting, because surprise, surprise, we are still pushing up again towards those highs. So let's take a look at the volume, shall we? What's the volume like on this? Open interest. The open interest has gone absolutely mental, really, hasn't it? The open interest went absolutely mental yesterday. Yeah, there was so many people opening their. It's a lot of people opening new longs. It really is pretty mental. There's a lot of bulls, but we're seeing here 7 million into the highs. I not quite taking the highs now. So 550, 544. Let me just check something. I need to check something really quickly. No. No. So I'm not in a short position at the moment. But nevertheless, we're breaching up at around these resistances. It's like I saw earlier. So where were we earlier? We keep on forming little triangles. I was just thinking, do we have another triangle here? But we don't actually have a triangle at the moment. We have, I suppose, a bit of a range. Not taking the high. So yeah, we took the high just. So I mean, again, my perspective is I wasn't long here. I'm not going to be the guy that tries to for me, this is resistance. You have to remember, this is resistance. And I can be bullish while simultaneously saying I wouldn't long here. I'm bullish enough to say I would like to see higher, but I'm also not bullish enough to long here. Like I wouldn't want to be the guy that's longing into resistance. I'll let somebody else do it. So I definitely wouldn't long here, even though I'm bullish. But nevertheless, you saw here, it's instantly changed, but we saw about 7 million positive delta now turning to 3 million negative delta. So pretty contested, I suppose, overall. People interested in both sides of the market, and I suppose it's not real. I'm not really surprised by it, but yeah, I think the standout thing for me is the open interest is absolutely still very, very. This is really healthy open interest. The open interest is very healthy. On every drop, we obviously saw those really bullish divergences. So this was like the really standout thing, but where we obviously bounced from yesterday, that the open interest actually was really. I want to say, to be honest, it was actually really bullish. And sometimes you need to see those original bounces to really get that perspective. Because my perspective yesterday, again, this is how you have to adapt, and you have to be open to changing your biases and opinions. Because yesterday I actually had a bearish bias. I had a bearish bias while we were up on that weekly. Basically, I was shorting this, and I was very transparent that I was shorting this. I don't think anyone's, I was very transparent about shorting this level. And we obviously made our way down to the CC. And I was still holding short at this moment in time. It wasn't until I saw the data off of a rejection that I said to myself, I no longer want to short this. I want to long. And obviously this was updated in Instagram. If you want live updates over on Instagram, then obviously you can plug the Instagram there. You can follow on Instagram, and it's like one of these things. I cannot just continuously be online on YouTube all the time. It's easy to just do a 5-second video. So obviously I've done the video after the live stream had ended. I made an update on Instagram 16 hours ago saying, actually, my perspective has changed. This is a really bullish bounce, actually. Next post, again, 16 hours ago, I've closed my shorts and I've actually longed Bitcoin, because I don't want to be held to the bias of why would I keep shorting this when it actually looks really, really, really bullish. Oh yeah, and this is where I was like, all right, who wants a live stream? I had literally so many people DM me saying, do the live stream. You have to tilt your head. But yeah, that made me laugh. But it's like the same here. I was opening short in here. We see the bounce get underway, but why was my perspective actually really changed? Why was I thinking this actually was a lot more bullish than what I originally thought? The open interest. The open interest was so bullish here. With the bearish the bullish divergences that you had, one has to change their perspective. Because if one doesn't change their perspective, they will lose money. So yeah, one has to be adaptable. One has to change their perspective to how the market's moving. Okay. And so yeah, my opinion is the open interest is very bullish, to be fair. I think this very bullish open interest. Finally holding above billion open interest. Well, we'll see how this lasts. So it could change. But the open interest, in my opinion, is very bullish. Still right now, loads of people opening longs. Look, that's another 4 million longs just opened in the last 2 minutes. So many people trying to long right now. It's absolutely, for me, it's very... It's really not very often that you see this sort of thing. It's very rare to see this sort of open interest moving up with the move like this. Is really, really, really rare. So I feel that this will end in one of two ways. I'm very certain it ends in one of two ways. That it's going to literally, my perspective is we will either really simply invalidate any bearish scenario and absolutely fly. Is scenario number one, where we literally just absolutely fly out of this. Scenario number two, which one has to say is definitely probable at the moment, is that we do basically reject here and we start to make our way back down. And I feel that would obviously be the max pain scenario. I feel a lot of people would get wrecked by that, because we've seen so many people long into this with the FOMO that if, again, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying if price drops here, a lot of people would get wrecked. Why? Because they don't use stop losses. That's the main reason. If you use a stop loss, you can't get wrecked. Lots of people don't use stop losses. So, yeah, scenario number one, literally, with the way the open interest is going, is we literally just blast through and just go through all resistances. And we just go straight to all-time highs. Scenario number two is that we do get the form of a rejection here. We do head down. I'll take this question here. What indicator would trigger you to short at the 41,700 level? Also, how long would you predict to keep the short position open? So this is the way that I like to trade. Really good question, by the way, mate. I would like to trade again, I might not take the short here. I'm not in a short at the moment. But if I was to take the short, I would imagine that the way that I would approach it would be similar. Again, it's hard to say before I've got the data, but I would imagine if I was to take the short, might not come up this high. We could reject off the daily, but nevertheless, if we come up to here and I was to get into my short, I would probably be looking to take profit one very quickly. So take profit one means I would probably look to take profit on a retest of the daily, as we're breaking up again now, by the way. I would look to take my first take profit very quickly. Then I would look to move my stop loss to break even and let the rest of the trade run. That rest of the trade could run for a week, could run for a month, could run for another 10 minutes. It's very hard to say. But yeah, I can guarantee you that my first take profit would be very, very, very quick. Why? Because we're obviously trading against the market here. we are trading against the market. The market looks very bullish. So yeah, my first take profit would definitely have to be very quick. And then I'd let the rest of the trade run. Maybe it turns into a swing trade. So we are, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, 40,614. We have literally just hit that, and we've already pulled back over $100. Let me just now check something. Okay, cool. Right. So yeah, that's the way that this is the way that I'm going to manage it. So yeah, this X wave is obviously a potential. Again, I'm not telling anybody to do anything with their money. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not going to be responsible for any of your trades. So yeah, we have the potential now of this coming literally up. It's hit that X wave target, in my opinion. That was really between the daily and the 1-to-1. Yeah, that is my perspective. If this is really invalidated and we push through, it pushes through. You know, I'm comfortable with it just doing this. Maybe it happens. You know, yeah. I suppose we can move on to look at Ethereum. We'll move on to look at Ethereum. So Ethereum then, yeah. Well, you again, if you followed this channel for the last few years, you'll know I'm not a fan of altcoins. Like myself, I'm not an altcoin trader. So if you're here for altcoins, it's not really the channel for you. I focus on Bitcoin. Obviously I do trade alts, but I'm not sitting here every day trading altcoins. I trade Ethereum, obviously. Or the reason why primarily I only trade on Bybit, and for me this is an advantage. Other people view it as a disadvantage, but I like Bybit because I only have the option of trading 5 alts, and I don't have the time in the day to try and trade 100 alts. I literally just don't have the time, so I'm happy with just 5 alts, to be honest with you. But obviously, look at this: Bitcoin up 5% today. Some of these altcoins down up to 13%. So what this means is, let's say for example you're holding Tezos. You're literally losing money right now from holding an altcoin. Isn't that crazy? Like, you could have just been in Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin and you'd have made money today. But instead you're sat in an altcoin and it's literally losing you money from just holding that alt. And that for me is like it's just like, wow, you know, you're just like, wow, you're literally losing 13% of your Bitcoin. And Bitcoin itself, if you just hold Bitcoin, is going to make you more money. It's like crazy. I'm not a fan of alts, period. I am a fan of trading them, but I'm not a fan of anything like hodl the alts. I think 99% of alts are going to go to zero. I think none of them have a long-term perspective. I am a swing trader only of alts, so I don't really day trade alts. I will look to buy an altcoin, and I'm going to try and hold that alt for 1, 2, 3, 4 months. That's my new style of trading alts. I am 100% only swing trading alts. I don't want to get down there on the 1-minute charts. But yeah, the only alt that I really like, that I hold anyway, for a swing trade, so it's not just hodling, but it's holding for a swing trade, is Ethereum. To be honest, it is Ethereum. And this is obviously, you know, the entry that I am in from $1,090, and I still hold this. Again, it's a swing trade. I don't really manage it too much. I don't really, again, and if we're talking about in percentage of portfolio, the percentage of my portfolio in Ethereum is obviously not massive, because I hold it most in Bitcoin, because that's what I trade every day. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind as well. But I am happy to trade Ethereum, but there's obviously an inverse correlation. So inverse correlation is really simple. If Bitcoin is going up, the inverse correlation means that the altcoins are going down, or in Ethereum. A correlated asset would mean Bitcoin going up and your other asset going up. So this is a correlation, and this is an inverse correlation. And there are really good ways and trading strategies that you can get from correlations and inverse correlations. If you don't know, my background is in the stock market, and one of my most fun things to trade in the stock market is the inverse correlation between the S&P 500 and the volatility index. You know, I love that one because why do I love to trade this so much? Because, well, you can see it here. This is the volatility index. If you think the stock market is going to dump, instead of shorting ES, which I never short ES, I would never short the ES. What I would do though is long the VIX. So look at this, yeah? This is how you make so much money on trading, because you look at these like inverse correlations where the percentages are absolutely massive. So all you need to do is compare here. And if we add on the S&P, okay, and if we just put this, take that off a percentage. Ah, look at this. This is the problem sometimes when you have to use TradingView. I'm not going to be able to show you on TradingView. I like to use trading technologies. So for the stock market, I use trading technology. So I don't really like TradingView. It's a bit glitchy. But basically what I'm saying here is if the stock market goes down like, let's say 2%, the VIX is probably going to pump like 20%. And then generally what you expect is a volatility, and you look to fade the volatility because volatility doesn't last forever. So you get a really volatile period, and then you would generally look to fade volatility. And every time this hits $11 is always a long for me. Every time this hits $11, which is obviously down here, just long this blindly. You know, it's just one of the safest longs in the world. Obviously from $11 the last time, 600% gains in 50 days. And again, that was during the coronavirus drop. I wasn't shorting many things. So like, I wasn't actually shorting a lot of things in the stock market. You know, Bitcoin, obviously I shorted, but the stock market, I don't really like to short it, but I was long on the VIX. So that was, you know, the stock market crashed, but the VIX was up 600%. So it's like, yeah, that's the way I like to trade it. But yeah, Ethereum is obviously inversely correlated to Bitcoin. So this means when Bitcoin is going up, it's likely, it's not 100%, but it's likely Ethereum is going to go down. And guess what? If Ethereum goes down, the altcoins are going to go down even harder. So I am very cautious of the alts. I don't really like them that much. And if I want to, then I'll just literally just swing trade it. So hold it for a few months sort of thing. I don't want to be looking at it every day. So let's see what this volume's doing. Still fairly stable. Still seeing so many longs open actually. Still seeing a lot of those longs. Look at this. So over the past few, 10 minutes, you've seen nearly 10 mil, 69, and now another 1 million coming in. There's so many longs. It really is mad. Somebody was saying, I just read, if I compare that's new. That is new. That never used to be an option. That must be really new to TradingView, because I've never seen that option before of saying, do I want to use it same scale, or new pain? That has never ever been an option before. That literally must be new over the past month or two. I've never seen that option before. But yeah, here's the inverse correlation. You see, S&P going down, stock market pumps. Here S&P goes up. Here the volatility index dumps. So yeah, that's the inverse correlation. And here you're going to be able to see the same. So this is Bitcoin going up. We can compare it to ETH. And we can kind of see here, look, it's exact opposite. Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes down. So that's an inverse correlation. And if you know how to trade them, then, you can make money on this. Wow. Yeah, I was hoping that we could get a bit more of a move, but it seems to be fairly slow here. Obviously, my long, by the way, so if you're not aware, like my long is on the USD pair. Like my leveraged position is obviously long on the USD pair. So I am could have made more money if I had obviously not been in ETH, but I'm more bullish on this again long term, like I don't know, next few months, USD pair is not like so bad. This is obviously all-time highs. Yeah, I'm thinking if there's anything else that I really want to add here. Oh, there are a few things that I want to say, actually, now I remember. The first thing that I'd like to remind you all of is, if you haven't already, you can obviously go to our Discord, which is absolutely free. Discord is absolutely free. And I'll post the link for you here if you want to join our Discord. So I'm going to give you a quick reminder. The Discord, basically what we have inside this now is you can come over for absolutely free, join the Discord, go into the announcements. And we have the trading competition. So I want to remind you all about this because I would like to get more people inside it. Basically the Champions League. So I'm just going to talk about this for 2 minutes because I've talked about it quite a lot. But the Champions League is a competition that we're hosting in connection with Bybit. We have hosted season 1. This is season 2. Last time Patrick won the competition, he obviously walked away with the current price, $27,000. We're hosting a new competition. Again, this is a free competition. There's no, you won't lose money unless you lose your trades. Like, you have to have an initial entry amount because I've seen so many questions. You're not going to get this taken away from you. This is just something that you have to enter. If you don't trade, then you keep all your money. So you're not going to lose money from entering and doing nothing. But basically, this is a competition that we're hosting with the potential of 2 Bitcoin giveaway. So we're looking to give away $70,000. That's obviously if we get 400 plus people. First prize will then win $22,000. And even up to the top 10, 10th place will win $1,000. So it's a really nice competition. Instead of just like giving away 70,000, it's actually a competition designed to give away $70,000, but in a way of saying trade well and win some money. So it's really nice competitive environment, really, where you have the potential of winning up to $22,000 for first place. Even if you finish 10th place, you'll win $1,400. And yeah, it's just I feel it's a really nice way to give back to the community, to say thank you. And instead of just saying here's $22,000 instead of saying here's $70,000 we're giving away, we're saying we're giving away $70,000, but you're gonna have to trade well for it, essentially. Obviously somebody could get really lucky. Potentially someone could just do a times 100 trade and get really lucky and win 22,000, but this is meant for people that are obviously going to do well. So yeah, this competition starts on Tuesday. So if you haven't already, the rules are really simple. You do have to be registered using our affiliate link, so I'll post that into the chat. I'll say that in a second. So you just need to register using the affiliate link, and the reason of this is because if you don't register with the link, or you use if you're already an affiliate under somebody else, you're not eligible for the prize, really simply. So this is a key rule that you do have to be aware of. So you'll have to make a new Bybit account, send your Bitcoin to the account, and then you're in the competition. This competition starts the 9th and it runs for just a few weeks to the 3rd, and then the winners will be selected, the Bitcoin will be sent out, and yeah, I think it'll be a fun period. So yeah, that's just to remind you all of this, if you're interested in that comp. So yeah, just thought I'd remind you while I remember. Messi or Ronaldo? Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo for me. Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Ronaldo. So we are getting that pullback. I admire Ronaldo. I actually admire Ronaldo. Ronaldo is kind of, I'm not trying to say I'm like Ronaldo, but my work ethic, I feel, is like Ronaldo. Like, I'm a really hard worker. I will put a lot of effort into everything I do. Like, I'm under the perspective of, if I want to do something, I'll do it. I'm not going to be the guy that does something really lazily, half-assed, like, I'll do it tomorrow, I don't really, if I do something and I really want to do it, and to be honest, I want to be the best at it. I'm not going to do something to try and be second place. I'm going to do something to try and be the best. To be honest, I'm very competitive. And I believe Ronaldo has that same thought process. Ronaldo training every single day, There's not a day that he's not in the gym. There's not a day that he's not still practicing his free kicks. You know, he's so dedicated. And you know, I admire that. He's very dedicated, and he's the best, in my opinion. Anyway, he's at least what, you know, in my opinion, he's the best right now of what he does. And yeah, I think that's really, really inspirational almost, because, you know, he started from nothing. He put in so much time and effort, and it's like, and he deserves it. I feel, you know, he deserves all the success, and I think it's brilliant. You didn't have any Bitcoin, oh no, Ethereum in your account right now. Would you wait for a dip, or would you buy some now? I suppose it's kind of your perspective of how long of a trade. Like I personally I'm bullish on it. This for potentially this trade might last 2, 3, 4 months. So in that perspective, yes, it could drop down lower, but under the way that I am trading Ethereum is ultimately, I suppose, it's not that bad of a buy right now, because my perspective is we can see another 20% gain on this. So I suppose there's obviously a key area of support, the weekly. If you got a retest of the weekly again, obviously another good opportunity. That's another 7%. Is now a good buy? Again, I'm not giving financial advice, but would I buy here? I mean, personally, yeah, I'd be pretty comfortable buying here, because I've got, I still know where I'm wrong. You know, I know where I'm right, I know where I'm wrong, and this is still not in invalidation region, so I don't feel it's the best entry in the world. Obviously, it's not really the best entry, but in my perspective, it's not really a bad entry, simply for the fact I'm looking for targets that are at least 20% higher. So yeah, well, another way is obviously you could average into it a little bit, so you could like ladder your entries. Obviously another perspective. Look at this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting that rejection. Look at that though. Look at this, that level wicked onto that daily, literally wicked onto it, and you've already pulled back nearly $300, $200 at the moment. But, you know, this is the 1 minute chart, literally the 1 minute chart, and you can see how the reaction went off at that level. That's pretty nice, no? And the way that you know what I was saying, the way that you manage your trades is you kind of have to take profit one quickly, don't you? So you look for take profit one quickly, and then you can maybe let the rest of the trade run. So I think I would say that this now is a nice take profit one. If you, again, I'm not sure if anybody took it, and I probably should say people shouldn't be taking it, because you shouldn't just follow what I say. But if you did short the daily, then I would say that this is a nice take profit one, and then either you get stopped on the rest or it comes down lower. Okay, so that's the way that I would approach this. So yeah, now you know. Yeah, so hope that was helpful. I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here. I do think I'm probably going to wrap it up. I think I'm going through everything that I really wanted to go through. I've gone through my perspective on Bitcoin, resistance. Honestly, if we clear this resistance, I think it's really bullish, and it totally invalidates any bearish idea. You know, if we get through this, this is you know, I would really be very bullish. But until proven otherwise, it's obviously resistance. Obviously, we got our support levels on the way back down if we retrace. It's obviously got this weekly there, 38,200. Boom, 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 boom. That will be my take profit one hit. We come down to the lows, so post this in here. There you go. That was a short from 40,592. I had it waiting because I was like, you know, I want to do. I don't want to do one on the stream. So yeah. Nothing amazing, obviously, but yeah, that just shows you sometimes you can short as long as you're quick on it, as long as you're quick and you've got an entry, you've got a stop loss or an invalidation, and you know where you want to take your profits. And now I can see it pump. If I get stopped out, then it's like fine. If it goes down lower, then even better. But you got to take profits. I think this is the main thing that you got to do. You got to take profits. You have to take profits in trading. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself burnt, heavily burnt if you do not take profits. So, yeah. Those are people in the chat saying, we knew it. We knew you took that short. We knew it. Love it alone. Yeah, come on. That is pretty funny. I mean, why would I not take it? This was for me to level up. I was like, don't mind shorting it. Again, I don't really think anyone should try and follow me on that trade. And again, I've hit my take profit one. And the thing is, if you try and follow someone after it's already too late, it's too late now. So literally, if you try and enter now, it's too late in that regards because it's already hit take profit. This is obviously the danger with following people. If you don't know what you're doing, then it's very dangerous to follow someone because it's very unlikely that people are going to be saying their position and their entry before they got it, especially if you're a YouTuber. So just bear this in mind. If you're a YouTuber with 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, a million subscribers, the likelihood that somebody is going to tell you if they're trading with millions of dollars, their entry before they take it is relatively low. Because at the end of the day, if you're trading with millions of dollars, it's like the risk to reward ratio of telling people your trade before you take it is not worth it. It's just not really worth it. So you have to remember that 99.9% of people will take their trade on YouTube and then tell you their position. So once you know their position, it's already too late because they've got their entry. Maybe they've already hit take profit one, and then following them is very dangerous because you're so late to the move. No serious trader anyway is really going to be, again on YouTube to millions of people is going to tell you their position. You can get inklings, but to give like the exact dollar, it's just not really that. It happens, but. So I generally will look more for a region. I'll be like, this is my region of a short. This is my region for it long. There we go. So yeah. Is there anything else that I wanted to cover here? Trying to think. Do not think so. I suppose I'll just end with a little bit about us if you've watched the stream and you're not aware. If you want, we are an educational group, if you haven't already guessed. So if you want the education of how we start to read this volume, how we start to recognize when there could be potential pullbacks, if you want these sort of cheat sheets, obviously in the portal we have hours and hours and hours of video content, of live streams, checklists, cheat sheets, glossary terms, everything that you could really want in terms of learning to trade, all the way from beginner to advanced concepts. Yeah, so if you're interested in the education, obviously you can come across and learn that. That's a service that we offer. The second service that we offer is obviously the community aspect. If you want to see people's charts, have sort of feedback on how people are looking to trade, some important levels. That's sort of the community aspect that a lot of people like. So that's the two main features that we offer. Firstly, it's education. And then secondly, it's the community aspect. It's nice to be in a room with a lot of other professionals that know what they're doing. Yeah, I think it's nice to bounce ideas off of other people that know what they're doing, really. So yeah, that's the stream then. I also hope that you've enjoyed. What I will say, as always, is let me just mute this a second. what you can do to help out the channel is you can always share this video, copy the link, share out the video to your friends and family or whoever you think this might help. That is obviously a really big way to say thank you. Obviously, you can give likes to the video. That's another way you can say thank you. And yeah, if you're interested in more content from us, we're literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People are always around. We got our links here. This is the link to the website. This is the link to our Bybit if you want the referral to join the competition. Again, that's a up to $70,000 giveaway. The link to our Instagram here if you want some of those urgent updates that I'll give, and the link to our free Discord if you also want that is in the description. You've got 10,000 other people in there. That's free if you want it. And obviously on Instagram you would have seen this last night that I was closing that short going into a long, although obviously I took profits on it as well. But nevertheless, those sort of updates are free on Instagram as well. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hope this was really insightful, interesting and helpful. And I truly hope you have a brilliant weekend. Thank you ever so much. And that's me signing out. Cheers, thank you, and goodbye.